But before we wrap it up, I did remember one other thing we wanted to mention.
Yeah.
So me and Howie was talking about this before the show. The main theory is that hip hop started out in the Bronx. But there's been some speculation and skepticism about, maybe it didn't start there. Maybe it started over in the islands like Jamaica and all those types of places. Because a lot of people like Kool Herc came from that place. And, there's even speculation that it started elsewhere other than that. But what do y'all think? Who actually created hip hop, as a culture? Where did it start at? What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, like I said, the whole history was, from what I understand. You gotta understand, I was born in '83 in North Carolina. I think, as far as like hip hop went, I think the thing that we saw was like Run DMC. That was like the first, probably like mainstream rap that we seen.
Right.
So it took me years later to kind of dig back, like, oh, okay, so Kool Herc did this. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It took me years, little years when I got older to research. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? To start digging back to, actually understand. I will say this, in my findings, I understand like the principle of hip hop did come from the islands. Like when they did the reggae stuff, they did the toasting. The toasting is kind of like, it's kind of like the rap in a sense.
Yeah.
So what Herc did, from what I understood, he kind of took when he went to Jamaica, because I think he went for like he was from there, but I think he was actually, when he living in the States, then he kind of went back.
Yeah, exactly.
And then what he did, he brought, because that's one thing they had the sound system there.
Right.
So he brought the sound system back.
Yeah.
And then thus he kind of, created the the hip hop, like the whole aesthetic to it and all this stuff, the MC.
Exactly.
But I mean, if I always said like Kool Herc started it. I always said that. I mean, there's speculation on like, did he really start it? They said there might be somebody else that started it. I won't get into that. Yeah. But I will say this, it's always been Herc. I feel that, black, brown people were the like start of it, when it came to hip hop. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I feel about it. Yeah. But it's just kind of funny, like why are they doing this now? Like why are they trying? Like why are people coming in saying like, oh well, it's ADOS and it's right. You know what I'm saying? Like we want to start a hip hop and you know what I'm saying? Right. It's like but it was black music for everybody. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody can appreciate it. As black, for black people. But I mean, all of a sudden it morphed into other folks, doing it. You had shout out to Ruby D. He was the first Latin MC, which actually found out technically he wasn't. Whip was. Mm-hmm. He just never claimed it.
Yeah.
But he had like the Puerto Rican descent. Yeah. Supposedly. But Ruby D became like the first Puerto Rican like rapper.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of what you gotta look at. A lot of those first female MC came out of New York. You know what I mean? First this and that. The first, like you said, the Puerto Rican MC came out of New York. So it's all of that kind of stuff. I think that a lot of stuff started elsewhere. Like, there was rapping before the Bronx.
Yeah.
You can go back to Pigmeat Markham and Here Comes the Judge
and all of that.
And he was rapping. You can go to James Brown was rapping. You know what I mean? James Brown talked about rapping in his songs, but
Temptations. Some argued that the Temptations, like Ball of Confusion, was kind of like rap.
Yeah. And so it's so rap didn't necessarily start right there in the Bronx, but hip hop as a culture was brought together right there, I think. Yeah. You know what I mean? They kind of put it all into a nice little package of, okay, let's take this rapping thing to another level. Let's take this DJing thing and perfect the art of DJing.
Yeah.
And, you know, we got the breakdancing, you know what I mean?
And
that came out in New York.
And then the graph writers.
The graffiti, I mean, you know, all of that. So beatboxing, you know what I mean? I'm sure there were people doing beatboxing maybe outside of New York, but everything kind of came to this culmination right there. Put it all into one little pot and kind of started it there. So that's the way I look at it. So yeah, hip hop as a culture, coming together as a culture, I think started out there. But you know, you can go back into the 50s and 60s and hear people doing like rapping type stuff on records.
Oh yeah, because like rapping was I think that's the thing, people get that because they say rap and hip hop like it's synonymous, and it's two different things. Yeah, like rapping was way before
the moonwalk, stuff like that. The moonwalk, you know what I mean? There's like artists doing that back in like the 50s on record, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people got so confused, they thought Michael Jackson created that. I was like, nah, Mike didn't create that. He perfected it, but he didn't create it.
Mike was taught it.
Yeah, he saw them street kids doing it, and he was like, oh, I got to do that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He took it to that pop level where everybody loved it, you know what I mean? But before him, you just knew about it in your local neighborhood. You know what I mean? So you know, he brought it to the big stage and kind of gave it a platform. So
which that's a good. I mean, that was kind of. I mean, it was like a double-edged sword because it's like it's like dang, now you can took this and like now you get money off of it, but at the same time you get an exposure of it. Like, oh man, you know, that's a good. You know, y'all took this to this platform. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. So, matter of fact, speaking of Michael Jackson, his birthday was August 29th. So happy birthday to him. Almost forgot about him, man.
Mike, man.
Yeah, his birthday was August 29th. Shimon! Yeah, man. So he's still one of the greatest, man, to ever do it, you know, as far as music goes.
Man, I heard somebody, speaking of Mike, man, I heard somebody talk about, I could beat Michael's ass, some podcast. Well, let me tell y'all something. Michael fuck you up. You forget he from Gary.
Yeah, man.
Shoot, Michael.
Mike had a hidden side to him, you know what I mean? Yeah. Because they talked about how people who knew him on a personal level used to hear the deep voice that Mike had. Because you hear all that, you know, when even in interviews. But they was like, yeah, if you really know Mike, he got a deep voice. He got a deep voice. And so, Michael's that dude. Yeah, Mike be like, let me tell you something, motherfucker. Right. What? Oh, y'all niggas gonna stop putting my name in your little song. Yeah. I'm gonna start fucking niggas up on sight. Yeah, I'm smacking niggas just for living. Yeah, shit, man. Wait, that Michael Jackson? Right. God. But yeah, man. But yeah, you know, y'all let us know how y'all feel about that. Where was hip hop created? You know what I mean? We want to hear from y'all in the comments, and we appreciate any feedback. You know what I mean? And so thank y'all for those of us who do watch us week after week, and you know, don't forget to check out our other segments, you know, the Lost in Thought segment, the lyrical breakdown. We haven't done a Lost in Thought in a minute. Yeah, I might have to throw up a little Lost in Thought. Yeah, it's always good to do one of those every now and then. So, but yeah, so before we leave, I'm gonna throw one more record on the turntable here. I kind of feel like hearing some Pharoahe Monch, man. What you think, man? Hey man, might as well, man. They got the remix on there with him and Redman and Busta Rhymes. Yeah. That's it, man. Redman. Yeah. Simon Says, man. So yeah, man. Busta Rhymes been bugging. Yo, he killed that shit. Yeah. God, would. The dope, colorful records. You know what I mean? I love a colorful record, man. Oh yeah, man. So let me throw that in there. Hold on one second. I'm just gonna hear just a little bit, you know. I ain't gonna play the whole song, but let's just hear some of this classic. Can you name what sample that is? That's an interesting one. Where is that from? We'll talk about it.
Get the fuck up. Simon says, get the fuck up. Throw your hands in the sky. Who's in the back? sipping yak, y'all, what's up? Girls, right, I said it, rough on your titties. New York City, bitty, committee, pity, the fool, that shitty in the midst of the calm, the witty. Y'all know the name. Pharaoh fucking March ain't a damn thing changed. You all up in the range of shit, inebriated. Straight from your original plan, you deviated out, alleviated the pain with long-term goals. With my underground loop, without the gold. You so back around the world, I so one in the hood. But when I'm in the street and shit, it's all good. Assume the motivated boom, control the game like boom, made a rock clock, dollar sits like a way to block shots. Down, to let my lyrics annoy. If you holding up the wall and you're missing the point. Get the fuck up. Simon says, get the fuck up. Put your hands to the sky.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man.
He's back on the
Classic right there, man. Oh, man.
sample he took that from.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. I don't even know what sample that's from.
Yeah, that's I forgot. It was Godzilla.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
You know what? Now that you said it, I'm hearing it now.
Yeah. It's like, yo. I'm like, man, that's crazy.
I hear it now. Because that was that kind of ominous Godzilla music. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Man, that goes back, for y'all youngins, man. You gotta go back to the 80s to check out the old Godzilla joint. You know what I mean? Remember when Dave Chappelle did the Godzilla sketch?
Yeah.
And then he uppercut it. Yo, that was funny as hell, man. But yeah, man, so I guess that's good for this week, man. This has been episode 219.
219.
Yeah,
yes, I can't. Yeah,
a bunch of fingers.
A bunch of fingers.
But yeah, we really appreciate y'all checking us out. This is your boy Kurt, and this is
Howard.
And we'll see y'all on the next episode. All right.
Peace.